Hello. Okay, so I'm back and I actually wanted to talk about something. It's an experience that is so profound and very significant for me. I think it's about time to talk about it, honestly, because there are many instances that I wanted to share this at my channel, but I'm quite hesitant because, you know, it's not something that everybody's going to be open about. But then again, on second thoughts, I was like thinking, hey, it's not my job to convince people. And I am doing this because I just wanted to share this experience, not to convince or to encourage everybody to believe. But definitely what I'm going to talk about is something, again, very significant and very deep for me. And I think it's really about time to talk about it and to share it. And also, a big or huge call out to my dear soul sister. She's actually a psychic, clairvoyant, and energy healer. Her name is Shalin, or Kismet Rising. Go check out her channel. I think I'm going to leave that as well in the description box. What happened was she uploaded something on her channel. It's a pick a card reading, and I love pick a card reading, quite addicted to it. and and so I actually participated, and the pile that I chose was, I think, that card, if I'm not mistaken, something to do with angels of the Atlantis, or Atlantis angels, I'm not sure. But I picked that pile, or that card, which is, I think, pile number one. And I was so surprised when I saw the card Archangel Zadkiel. And Archangel Zadkiel is something very, very significant for me, especially for year 2018. We're just about to move to 2019, so I guess it's really about time to talk about it. So again, Shalene, thank you so much. I hope you're listening, and big thanks to you. So before we move on, again, the topic is about angels, okay? Archangels or guides, warriors of God, whatever it is that you wanted to label it. But angels and archangels is the topic for this recording that I really am so glad to share to you. Okay, so before we move on to Archangel Zadkiel, I will begin by saying that ever since I was a kid, there are, experiences I've had, some encounters, which I would call angels, guidance from the angels or help from the angels. And a lot of the mediums or psychics that I've talked to about it, because I was really, really, confused. Like, I was really wondering, who was it, and they told me that they validated it was an angel. So the early experience I've had with angels, it started when I was actually 12 years old, I believe, primary grade, yeah. And what happened was my classmates actually invited me to go with them on a Saturday for a swim. And I'm so excited because I love swimming, okay? And so I went along with them. My classmate's name is Sharon. And Sharon is a pretty, well-off classmate of mine back then. And we were at this clubhouse, and then there are a lot of swimming pools, and I was so excited. And I remember actually trying to ask them. There were about like 6 of us, if I'm not mistaken, about 6 of us. I think there's Teresa, there's Teresa, there's Sharon, there's Charmaine, and Carrie Ann, and then me. Okay. Oh, there are about 5. Yeah, 5 of us actually. And so when we got there, we're just about to swim. I was actually testing the waters. I mean, beside the pool, and I was taking a look at the water, and I asked Sharon. She was the one who invited all of us. I asked Sharon, like, how deep is this pool? because I know how to swim, but not a pro, definitely. And my height is pretty short. At that time, probably I'm even shorter. Right now, my height is 5'4", and I can only swim within, at least 5 feet. But if it's anything beyond that, I tend to panic easily. So I can't, I can swim, but not beyond 5 feet, like 6 feet or what. And so I was asking my classmate Sharon, like, how deep is the water? Is it really deep? And so I was actually dipping my hands in the water, and my back is, not facing them, of course, because I was testing it. And for some freaking reason, everything happened so fast. Somebody pushed me to the pool, and all I can remember is that everything happened so fast. All I can remember was that I was flailing my arms, my hands, and I was panicking because I realized that the pool, or the swimming pool, is so freaking deep. And I was really, really scared. Like, I was flailing my arms until my hands, my legs, everything became so weak. Like, I was really trying to come up, and then trying to put my hands, like asking for help, and I could just hear my classmates laughing. They were all laughing, and I was like so serious. I was like, damn it, can you help me out here? I'm serious. I'm really drowning and all that. But all they did was just laugh. And so my hands again, and my hands, my legs, they're already weak, that I surrendered. It's like, and the next thing I actually remembered was that everything went black. And I'm talking about pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. But I can actually hear the water, which is odd, but I can't see a thing. And I swear, I know at that time, like, I was just about to die. And the last words that I actually said, and I was 12 years old at that time, was these words. I said, "Dear God, please let my family know, let my parents and my family know how much I love them." That's it. Those are the exact words or things that I said, because it was like I already surrendered, like I know I'm just about to die. And those were my last requests. And that, again, is to, I prayed and said, please let my family know, my mom, my dad, or my family know how much I love them. And I surrendered. But I can still hear the water, and everything was pitch black. And all of a sudden, I heard this voice in my mind, and it was so strong. The voice is actually very authoritative. If I'm going to describe the experience, or if I try to recapture everything, the voice that I heard, it's someone very powerful, very authoritative, and very commanding. That's the best way for me to describe it. And it's a woman's voice, somewhat mature. Definitely, it's not a voice of a 16-year-old or, a 5-year-old. Definitely a mature adult woman's voice that is very, again, authoritative and very commanding and very powerful. And the exact words, I'm going to translate that into English, because the words or the message that came into my head during that time when I heard the voice was in Tagalog, okay? You might be wondering, because my name and YouTube, it's Japanese, right? But that's a different story. I am actually a Filipina. I'm born and raised in the Philippines, by the way, if you're wondering. But I do have Japanese blood, and I do love the Japanese culture as well. But that's the reason why, okay? You might be wondering, why is it Tagalog when my YouTube name is actually Japanese? But that's a moniker, obviously. But anyway, the voice said in Tagalog, "Pajak ka," Pajaka, if I'm going to translate, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm going to translate that in English, the exact translation, the best way I can translate that is to move your legs. And I'm going to associate that with what's going on with the situation because I drowned, right? And so that voice is commanding me to move my legs. So it's pajaka, move your legs. And I was so shocked because I'm oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm so shocked, even, just remembering it now, like both of my legs, my feet, they just move on its own. Really, like it moved on its own with full force. And I was swimming, suddenly I'm moving, my legs are moving. And until I reached the very edge of the pool where I can just, stand up and, it was really weird. And it was something that I'll never, ever forget till the day I die, I tell you. I didn't tell much people about this story because I know there are many people who would just say you're freaking crazy, That's why even here at YouTube, sharing it here at my channel, I'm quite hesitant because there were times I was like planning of sharing it, but I guess this is the perfect time to share it. And so going back to the story, my legs moved and I was able to reach the very edge of the pool. I survived. I stood up. And by the time I got up, I was so shocked because at the left side, because there are two pools, on the other side of the, the pool area, I saw the same classmates, my classmates who pushed me, they pushed my other classmate. Her name is Carrie Ann, and she's actually a very smart woman, smart lady. She's actually the valedictorian of her class. And she's a very, the typical, very nerdy and quiet, meek type, girl is very, very nice and gentle. I saw them, they pushed her, and she was drowning. The very same thing that happened to me, like I was flailing my arms, and she was panicking, she was screaming, and I was so shocked, and I remember everything was like adrenaline rush, like it's like there was another, I don't know if I'm gonna, it's like there's another body inside me or another, I was like acting, like it wasn't really me, like I didn't really know how I got that strength and all those, but it was adrenaline rush. And I remember, to be quite honest, I was really, really cursing at my classmates who pushed her. I was really cursing at them. I was so mad. Like, I can't believe why they're doing this. Like, they're doing it for fun, when, I almost died there, right? And so, and I was even shocked because I just got up from the pool. It's like I already died. And when I got up, I saw my other classmate drowning, that they pushed her. And again, this adrenaline rush actually pushed me to do some things. Like, even if I try to recapture or try to remember it right now, it's like, how was I able to do that? Like, I remember there is like a large blue rope beside the pool. And what I did was I tried to wrap that large blue rope on my waist. And I did it effortlessly. And I did it out of impulse. I don't know. It's like everything happened so fast. Like everything happened without me like thinking. That's why I said, I don't know if there's like another body inside me. Because I was only 12 years old at that time. I didn't know where I got all of that strength, really. And so all I can remember is that I actually wrapped the blue rope around my waist, and then I was trying to reach for Carrie Ann's hands, and I was screaming to her, and I told her just grab hold of my hands. And I actually extended my left hand, and she did, and she was really panicking, and she was gasping for air. And she got, she grabbed my left hand and I actually turned my back so that I would pull the rope, and she actually scratched my back, and it was bleeding, really, really bleeding, and I can't blame her at all, because she was really nervous. The pull of emotions that she had, like she's dying, things like that, and she was so scared. That's why I cannot blame her. But my back hurt so much. It was really, really, it's like I could really feel until now the pain on my back, the scratches, and was bleeding. And so we got up, and I was shouting at my classmates, and it was horrible. But at the same time, I kept on thinking and thinking and thinking over and over about that voice that I heard, because I really believed that I was already dead when I drowned. And so when I got home, my brother was actually very shocked to see me. He was so shocked because, the exact thing that he told me when he saw me was, "What the hell happened to you? Like, why is your complexion so freaking pale?" Because I was so pale, and especially my lips. My lips are so purple in color, or violet in color. And it was like, "What happened to your lips? Your lips are all violet, And that's the problem with me when I was a kid. I am probably because I've gone through a lot of bullying. I've gone through a lot of, painful memories. I didn't have the best childhood, just to share to you. I haven't had the best childhood. And the problem with me during those times when I was, a young kid, there are, times that I would rather just keep quiet or keep it a secret. So I didn't talk about it. I just told them I almost drowned. But, even my parents didn't know at first. It took years before I told them that I was actually, pushed. I was, my classmates pushed me. But I just told them at first that I almost drowned, okay? So that was the very first experience I've had that deals with angels. And I tried to confirm that years after, like actually just a few years ago. And they told me that, it was, validated by some psychics or mediums that I know that was actually an angel. And I'll never ever forget that really, really profound experience. And it's something, again, like what I told you, something I'll never forget until the day I die. And that's the first experience that I wanted to share to you. Let me just sip my water, because I'm actually pretty much talking nonstop here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. All right, so that was the first story that I'd like to share to you that, that is about angels or spirits, or guides or guardians, rather, okay? The next thing would be just recent, definitely this year, 2018. And what happened was, basically, just to cut the long story short, for how many years now I've been going through, or I've been dealing a lot with challenges at work, where I have faced a lot of narcissistic people. And it was really tough, dealing with it. Energy vampires, toxic people, narcissists. And I was actually, on the verge of giving up. I almost lost my job, to be quite honest. Like, I almost decided to quit. It's just that my psychic friend, who actually was trying to support me in my journey, and was telling me that I should overcome this, that if I quit and if I move to another job and then you get to face another, narcissist, then you're just going to repeat the same thing over and over again. And of course, we all know that they're everywhere, toxic people are everywhere. And if I don't learn how to deal with it properly, then, the same patterns will repeat over and over again. And this was the worst experience I've ever had, to be quite honest. And for how many years I've been dealing with it with coworkers who are narcissists, a lot of people, a lot of toxic people. And jumping into the exact experience about angels, my sister is actually a psychic, by the way. She's also a medium. And she was doing a reading for my psychic friend. Because psychics, actually, before I share the story, psychics cannot read their own, selves, okay? Because if they do, even if they do have like a feeling or what, then it's going to be biased. That's precisely why a lot of psychics, a lot of mediums, if they wanted, to have their own personal reading, they would consult another medium or another psychic, because that way it's not going to be biased, okay? And I'm pretty sure if you're a psychic listening to this audio recording, or you're a medium yourself, then you would understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, my sister is actually a psychic, and she is actually doing a personal reading for my psychic friend, who happens to be her teacher or her mentor. And so they were doing the reading, and it was over the phone, and I was listening. Being an empath, I could easily pick up on energies, and I remember crying because at that time my sister was actually talking about angels and universe, and at that time I really felt the energy, and I was crying, like tears are streaming down my face so naturally. Like I was so shocked, like why am I crying, kind of like that, like I can't believe, why am I crying? I could really feel, it wasn't pain that I felt. It was more of the love, the loving feeling. And it was so profound. It was so deep that it moved me and touched me so deeply that I was crying. And so I was like so shocked, because, it was an experience where I couldn't explain why I was crying suddenly, why I was so moved, that I immediately rushed to the comfort room. And inside the comfort room, I was praying. And I was praying to God, and praying to the universe, archangels, that I am very thankful and very grateful for all their help. Because at that time that I'm actually undergoing some challenges in my life, I actually, I'm also trying to work with angels, like really, like asking for their guidance, asking for their help. I even did some research, and those were the times that I came across Doreen Virtues, even the oracle cards and all that, or I discovered, some information about Doreen Virtue, and that was probably like 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I was calling in some archangels, and normally it's Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Reguel, Shemuel, Jophiel. So I was thanking each and every, archangels at that time, and I was filled with joy and filled with happiness. But I was crying still, and I was just thanking, God for actually being there for me and really assisting me in my life, because I was really in a very challenging, moment during those times. And here's the odd thing that happened. And again, this is something I'll never, ever forget. And this happened actually, not just this year. I said earlier 2018, but the reason why I said 2018 was because of the synchronicities, okay? But in terms of this Archangel Zadkiel, it actually happened a few years ago, about 3 years ago. And what happened was, I was thanking again the archangels, and then suddenly I heard two voices in my head. Two voices, and they were very, very clear. It's a very loving, the voices are very playful. they're very joyful and playful and so innocent, and it's so, if I'm going to describe it, it's so playful, it's so innocent. The first experience I had what I mentioned to you was very commanding, very powerful and authoritative, but this time the voices are very playful and very loving and very innocent, and they said they didn't even said Archangel. They just said Zadkiel, Zadkiel. The name was mentioned twice, and they said it in a way that they're actually smiling, as if you can see them that they're smiling, saying that. At that time, when they mentioned it, I was thanking each archangels. And so I was like so shocked, like I was so freaked out actually, because the voices were so clear, crystal clear in my mind, and I really heard it. And again, when I said I heard the voices, it's not like you heard, you really heard someone whispering or someone beside you talking. I'm talking about voices that are in my mind, okay? And again, I'm not crazy, I'm not cuckoo, because some people, that's why I'm pretty much hesitant to talk about it, because some people might say you're just going crazy, I'm not, all right? I know I'm sane. But anyway, the name Zadkiel was mentioned twice, and it was so clear. And I was so freaked out that I actually immediately got out of the bathroom or the comfort room, and I dashed towards my computer, and I immediately pulled up Google, and I was typing the name. And here's another thing that is really, really odd. I could easily misspell Zadkiel, right? I didn't, see anything. I just heard the voices telling me Zadkiel. I could easily just spell it as Zadkil, right? Or any other, combinations of letters, or misspell it. But what's really, really odd, I was able to get it right the first time. Zadkiel. And I was like, oh my God. What really shocked me more, and oh my God, while talking about it, I can, just to share to you, everything is cold. I could feel some cold air around me right now, just to share to you. Anyway, what shocked me even more was that when I saw the information, like, what is Zadkiel? Because again, those voices didn't say Archangel Zadkiel. I just typed Zadkiel, and then it turned out it's also an archangel, Archangel Zadkiel. And I was so shocked, like, oh my God. Like, and it happened because I was thanking each archangels, like thanking them for the healing, for the joy, for the positivity, because each archangels, they have specialty, right? When it comes to healing, when it comes to emotional healing or mental healing, or when it comes to justice, there's an archangel that you can actually call upon. And so I was never, Zadkiel is something really new to me. I never encountered Archangel Zadkiel ever. And the fact that I got it, the voices told me that, and I found out it was an archangel of mercy and forgiveness and benevolence. I was shocked even more that I was crying. I know that the message for me was basically to forgive, because I've had a lot of emotional hurt, especially during those times, because I've been going through a lot of hardships at work, a lot of narcissists, and, it will really create scars, emotional trauma. And I know that the message there was to forgive. Like what they say, archangels or Archangel Zadkiel doesn't want to doesn't tolerate that. Archangel Zadkiel is not saying that it's okay for those people to do that towards me, but what he's basically saying is that I need to forgive, and forgiving means letting go of the hurt, and that's the message I got. And I know that I need to work with them to heal myself from the emotional pain and the trauma. And that was really, really profound. That was really, really shocking for me. And right now it's so cold. I don't know why it's so cold all of a sudden. But anyway, yeah, that's the feeling I had during those times. I was so shocked. Even right now, when I'm trying to remember the exact things that happened, I still can't believe it. You know, it was really, really weird. But yeah, and so from there on, I started calling in Archangel Zadkiel and really asking for his guidance and for his help to heal from within. So I know I needed to call on him because there's a lot of emotional traumas, a lot of wounds that I felt, you know. I'm not saying I've fully healed yet, because even right now I'm actually on the path of healing my inner child. So yeah, there you go. So those are actually two of the most significant experiences that I have, or that I've had, related to archangels or angels. And again, my purpose is not to make people believe what I'm saying. I'm just basically sharing my personal experience, and to each is its own. It really doesn't matter whether you believe or not. I just wanted to share my experience. And it's also funny, before I wrap this audio recording, it's funny because I kept on seeing synchronicities. I mean, experiencing synchronicities and repeating numbers, and they say that's angel numbers. And that started about December of 2017. I kept on seeing 1111, and then until it progressed to a different number, 222, 333, 444, and it was really weird. And I also saw angel feathers twice, actually. Twice this year. That's why it's very significant this year, this 2018, and I feel that I need to talk about it. And I also met this coworker who's told me all of a sudden that he's actually working with Archangel Michael, and that he even showed a picture, a really old, you know, just like a booklet, or just a small picture, I guess, given by his mother, which is Archangel Michael. And he told me that he always keeps it in his pocket ever since he was in 6th grade, you know, something like that. And he's been keeping it to protect him. And it's odd because you get to meet people who are also on the same wavelength or same frequencies, right? Or same experiences, in other words. And I was surprised, you know. And yeah, for this year, I saw two feathers, white feathers, that are so beautiful. And another thing, it's weird because I actually participated at this pick a card reading, which is just for fun, you know. I love doing pick a card readings, you know, or participating and playing along with it, and it's just for fun, right? It's for entertainment. But it's really weird because I actually did try out this your past life and your life purpose type of pick a card readings. And it's funny, the two psychics actually said that the past life, my past life, was an angel. And it's so funny. Like, I don't know, maybe that was just a coincidence. I don't know, but it was the very same things. And then I tried another one and said my spirit guide is actually an archangel. But of course, my dad is also my spirit guide. Everybody has spirit guides, by the way. So anyway, I guess that's about it. And also shout out to Ron, who also calls me Angel ever since 2008. It's weird. I don't know why people are calling me that. I mean, it's not that I'm turning into a narcissist myself, okay? Like, okay, so you call yourself an angel. No, it's nothing like that. But again, I'm sharing this based on my experience, and I myself, I'm pretty much surprised why is it that people also call me Angel. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, those two significant experiences that I've had is very, very important for me. Something, again, that I'll never ever forget until the day I die. So I hope you enjoyed listening to the recording. I know it's been 34 plus minutes of me talking. I really enjoy this. And I hope you pick up something. If you have, experiences, encounters, or experiences about angels yourself, feel free to comment down below. Let us know about your experience. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to actually talk about other topics out there that I wanted to share, because this is the perfect time I can share something about myself. And I noticed that I'm actually changing, if you notice that as well. Because normally what I do is that I upload audio recordings about Scorpios, because I'm a Scorpio myself, and other stuff like whether, travel videos or something to do with cooking or food and all that. But it's rare of me to talk about, some topics and just like this, just audio recording. I know I don't want to show my face. It's not that my face is too hideous. It's just that I am more comfortable talking or doing audio recordings, because the importance is the message, okay? Because some people, although human beings, are very visual, but, what's important is the message that we're actually putting out there, okay? That's why I prefer audio recordings instead of videos. And it would take a long time to upload as well. So anyway, I'm excited about what other topics I would talk about or share next time, because I wanted to take every opportunity to do this, because by the time I'm going to go back to work, which is next week, then I won't have the same, amount of time that I can actually spend to do this. And I wanted to take this opportunity, or grab this opportunity, to share as many topics as I can. And I've changed because, I suddenly decided that I wanted to talk about some, or tap into spiritual stuff. It's quite a sensitive topic, especially something to do with psychics and mediums. But it's actually very nice, because there are lots and lots of people who are actually coming out right now. A lot of people who are coming out, doing pick-a-card readings, a lot of psychics and mediums doing their own channel, and they're very successful about it. So it's great. It's wonderful, because I'm not a full, like a psychic just like them, but everybody's psychic, I know, but not as good as them. But although I came from a family of psychics and mediums, so I feel that I'm going to talk about that on the next few days, maybe. I'm not sure. But it's something I really feel like I want to talk about. Several topics, not just about the psychics or mediums or spiritual or paranormal stuff, but other stuff as well. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I've been talking here for so long. I wanted to wish everyone, again, happy holidays. And of course, happy 2019. All right. I'll see you again. Thank you. Love and light, bye, guys. Bye-bye.